This is CBS News Chicago.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dana Kozlov.
And I'm Adrena Sinclair. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Now at 9, new charges announced in that deadly crime spree in Gage Park. What we're learning about the suspect accused of killing 2 people inside a home and then stabbing a woman nearby.
And breaking this morning, The Atlantic releasing those top secret text messages about U.S. war plans. How the news magazine is speaking out as the Trump administration denies any sort of security breach.
Lots of news to get to this morning, but we're going to start here with your first alert forecast. We've got a milder day, but we're tracking a stretch of showers ahead.
Meteorologist Laura Bannon is in the First Alert Weather Center right now with more details on all of that. It's a little cloudy today, too.
Yeah, these clouds are going to move out of here. We do get into some sunshine here today, but we're definitely feeling the chill. 37 degrees, light wind in from the northeast at 5. On the radar, we were tracking this earlier this morning. We've got a little snow flurry activity that crossed the state line. Had a report out near Lake County that they had some brief window there for a little snow activity. Not much to really stack about here, but we've got a couple of cells out there from northern Cook County up toward Lake County. It's going to be swinging in this direction here. So once we get to about 9:25, 9:30-ish here in the loop, things should be a little on the interesting side. 39 degrees now, 38 Aurora, 40 McHenry, 37 out toward Valparaiso. Once these clouds clear, afternoon sunshine, temperatures go from the 40s into the 50s today. Rain's going to be moving through by tomorrow morning. Multiple chances expected through the weekend. We'll time it out coming up here soon.
Okay, see you in a bit, Laura. Thank you. And now to your nonstop news. Charges came down overnight in the deadly attacks in Gage Park.
57-year-old Robert Romo was arrested after police say he killed 2 people inside their apartment and then stabbed a woman at a bar next door. Darius Johnson live at the Layton Criminal Courthouse, where the suspect is expected to appear in court. Good morning, Darius.
Hey there, ladies. Good morning to you. That suspect is facing a charge of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and also a couple of other charges as well. Now, what we've learned in the last couple of days from prosecutors, this suspect allegedly killed his brother and then killed his brother's girlfriend inside their apartment in Gage Park. Take a look at this video. It was just after 10 o'clock Sunday night when police arrived at an apartment at 53rd and Kedzie. Police say the back door was wide open and the windows were broken out. Inside that apartment, police located 63-year-old Richard Romo, who was shot in the head, and his partner, 64-year-old Rita Chavez, with multiple injuries. The 2 were pronounced dead at the scene. Minutes later, we're told Richard's brother allegedly continued his rampage next door at Just One More Sports Bar. Police say the brother, 57-year-old Robert Romo, was armed with a handgun and a knife and targeted a 37-year-old man that was standing outside. That man ran inside, but Romo followed and instead attacked a 44-year-old woman in the bathroom, stabbing her multiple times. She survived and is expected to recover. Back out here live this morning, Romo was arrested at the scene Sunday night. He's been in custody since then. However, today is his first court hearing. It's expected to happen sometime after 12 o'clock this afternoon, and inside that courtroom, we expect to learn a little bit more about what happened that night, and hopefully we can learn a motive as to why Robert Romo allegedly killed his brother, his brother's girlfriend, and injured another woman right next door. We're live here at the Layton Criminal Courthouse. I'm Darius Johnson, CBS News Chicago.
All right, Darius, thank you for those updates. And police now investigating an early morning shooting that left a 33-year-old man dead on the far south side of the city. This is on Prairie Street that you're looking at here, now 101st in Rosemore. Police say the man was found with multiple gunshot wounds. There's no word on what led to that shooting.
3 men are in custody after a chase ended in Bucktown. Officers spotted a beige SUV and noticed it was stolen. They tried to stop the SUV, but the driver allegedly sped away. Police say the SUV eventually crashed into a concrete post near Fullerton and Damon around 1 a.m. Our nonstop news crew spotted several license plates on the ground near the car, all apparently different plates. Police say charges are pending. And Chicago firefighters put out this large fire in the Austin neighborhood. Flames were shooting from the roof of this building on Polk near Cicero around 3 a.m. It was very smoky, and the fire department said it took several hose lines to knock it out. Firefighters say it was an empty building and had no smoke detectors. Fire officials are investigating how it started. And breaking right now, The Atlantic just dropped text messages between top U.S. officials about an airstrike in Yemen.
And the release comes a day after President Donald Trump and other politicians downplayed the messages from a group chat on that message app Signal. Now, the messages include Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth sharing when strikes would happen, what the military was going to use, and the targets. Our Jared Hill has more on this from New York.
There was no classified information, as I understand it.
President Donald Trump continued to downplay concerns over his national security advisor, accidentally adding reporter Jeffrey Goldberg from The Atlantic to a group chat discussing military attacks against Houthi rebels in Yemen.
Somebody that was with Mike Waltz, worked for Mike Waltz at a lower level, had, I guess, Goldberg's number or called through the app.
But late Tuesday, Waltz took responsibility.
A staffer wasn't responsible. I built the group. My job is to make sure everything's coordinated.
Though he denied knowing Goldberg. On Capitol Hill, Republicans are pushing for more answers.
I trust there'll be a thorough investigation.
As some Democrats call for Waltz and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to be fired.
There's got to be accountability.
Hegseth is pushing back.
Nobody's texting more plans. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Amid the conversations over national security, Tuesday, President Trump signed major executive orders he says tackle election security. Orders requiring proof of citizenship to vote in federal elections and barring mail-in ballots received after Election Day. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Now, election experts predict President Trump's executive order will be challenged in court as the Constitution gives states the authority to set their own election rules. Now, in the next hour, some immigration groups are holding a news conference to call out the Trump administration for what they say is essentially a travel ban. They're accusing Border Patrol and customs officials of illegally blocking people from entering the country, as well as deporting people without due process. It's happening at the Federal Plaza on Dearborn.
Keeping an eye on your world this morning, new Israeli strikes in northern Gaza have left 8 people dead, including at least 4 children.
And that information is coming from a humanitarian aid group on the ground there. Now, one of those children, a baby, just 6 months old, and officials say the child's mother and 3 siblings were also killed in this strike. The video you're seeing here shows people working through the rubble, trying to find any survivors. Israel has not said who they were targeting in this strike, but local health officials say more than 600 Palestinians have been killed since the ceasefire in Gaza ended just last week. And more than 50,000 have been killed since the war started. The Gaza Health Ministry published the names earlier this week, showing more than 15,000 of those deaths were children. An Oscar-winning director and 2 others have been released by Israeli authorities after being detained in the West Bank. Hamdan Bilal says that he was badly beaten by Jewish settlers. Now, Israel officials say that Bilal and the others were arrested because they were throwing rocks at forces and an Israeli civilian. But Bilal says that he was actually just shooting video when everything started.
And this came, it's like first I got the Oscar. So this is like let you, it's like think why they attacking you like this. It's like hard attack after the Oscar. In the beginning, yes, there's attack, but not like this. But anyway, I went back to my home because this is my home.
Bilal won an Oscar just this year for the film No Other Land, which is a documentary that shows life in his West Bank village amid Israel's occupation. 23 Ukrainians have been convicted on terrorism charges in Russia in a trial Ukrainian officials are calling a sham. The charges are in connection to Russia's war on Ukraine. They were charged with staging a violent coup and organizing the activities of a terrorist organization. 11 of them had already returned to Ukraine in prisoner exchanges and were convicted in absentia. And Russia and Ukraine have agreed to stop attacking each other in the Black Sea. The tentative deal marks the next step in the Trump administration's efforts to end the Russia-Ukraine war. Now, since it began, Ukraine has sunk or damaged about 1/3 of Russia's Black Sea fleet. And after its superintendent was ousted, the Fenton Community High School District is voting for a new leader today. Samuel Benson took over after former Superintendent James Antengo was let go for allegedly mishandling the firing of an employee who faced sexual assault allegations. The Fenton Board of Education will vote on Benson's appointment tonight, but some community members tell us they want the vote to be delayed until the new board members take their seats. They're also demanding answers into the investigation of Antengo.
And a warning this morning from Deerfield Public Schools District 109 about a survey that appears to be bogus. It's being sent around via text or email. The message urges parents to complete a survey about Deerfield schools. But the district says it didn't send it out and it doesn't know who did or why, so they're letting parents know so those parents can protect their privacy.
Well, still ahead in Money Watch, the spring real estate season is kicking off.
What to know if you're looking to buy or sell a home, plus the small home improvement projects that can really pay off.
And Lady Gaga's going on tour, the announcement just this morning, and when the pop star is making a stop here in Chicago.
Well, off and on rain chances will take us through the end of the week and into the weekend, tracking the rain and storm threats in your first alert forecast.
So have you voted yet to help us pick Chicago's top dog?
We are crowning the restaurant that makes the best hot dog in town. The first round is underway. Check out the Sport Pepper 16 bracket and pick which of these 16 restaurants should move on to the next round. You have until noon tomorrow to make your selections. Just head to our CBSChicago.com and search what else top dog.
On the Money Watch, Dollar Tree announcing this morning it is selling Family Dollar. It's a $1 billion deal that will leave it in the hands of two private equity firms. Dollar Tree was looking for buyers for a while. Family Dollar headquarters will remain in Virginia, and this deal is expected to close in the next few months. And we do want to spend some time now talking about the cost of housing as we head into the busy spring real estate season.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger joining us live with what buyers and sellers should expect. So Jill, let's get the bad news out of the way. Home prices are still high, right? Meaning, of course, that's bad for buyers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's tough out there. Nationally, the median home price, $425,000. That's up by 45% from 5 years ago, which means that home prices have risen at roughly 2 times the overall pace of inflation. Of course, it's not just prices. Mortgage rates have doubled from 5 years ago. Homeowners insurance premiums have jumped. That means the cost of carrying a home is still quite steep.
And is there any indication that the market is shifting at all? And if so, what should buyers do before they even start to look?
Little glimmers of hope here, okay? But the rate of home price increases, that rate is slowing down. New listings are coming online, so that helps a lot. Unlike the COVID era where we saw bidding wars, the average home is now changing hands for 2% less than the price on the listing. So if you're interested, you start by doing the old homework that I'm going to assign. Run your numbers. You've got to make sure you've got an adequate down payment, at least 10, ideally 20% of the purchase price. Then you have to make sure that you can afford the rest of your life if you buy a house. So are you going to be able to cover all of the monthly costs? Could you continue funding other longer-term goals like maybe retirement and college funding? If you can't make the numbers work, you might be overextending, and frankly, just keep renting and be patient here.
For owners, though, who might be planning to sell, what home improvement projects really pay off, Jill?
You know, we've got surveys that show that when people spend tens of thousands of dollars on kitchens and bathrooms, they don't actually recoup that money upon the sale of their home. Now, if you look at a project like a new garage or an entry door, those projects cost less than $5,000 each. But upon the sale, you can recoup the cost of your upgrade and then some. You might get more money back than what you put into those upgrades. Don't forget, realtors say it makes a difference. Do those minor repairs, the touch-up on the paint, the broken windows, the cleaning of the carpets, and recaulking your showers and leaky faucets. Just get your house in shape to sell. Don't forget about the outside. Cut the lawn, plant the flowers, tend to the garden. I know these are cosmetic improvements, but you know what we're trying to do? We're trying not to spook a would-be buyer. They drive by their house and you're like, oh, that's nasty. I don't like the walkway, or something looks gross. And they just keep driving by. We want to increase your chances of selling your home quicker.
Curb appeal, as they say, right? Jill, curb appeal.
I know, good tips. All right, Jill, thank you so much. And you can see more of the great tips from Jill on CBS Mornings. And it's 9:18 now, turning to our first alert weather. I was, hoping we see a little more sunshine today, but
this afternoon.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Later.
Yeah.
So far this morning, I know we're being impatient. It's only 9:18.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, it's cloudy.
It feels like it's 2:30 in the afternoon.
I know. Yeah, at this rate. Yeah, those clouds are eventually going to clear. We get sunshine, and we'll be on the cooler side of things today. 50s and then 70s by Friday, and then that up and down pattern continues through next week. We go down to the low 40s for highs by next Monday. Average 51. So yes, lots of clouds, possibly a couple of flurries out there too, showing up on parts of the radar. Clearing out, we get some more sunshine here today before we head into a gloomy, wet, unsettled period with daily rain chances starting tomorrow, going through the weekend. Here's a look at satellite and radar. We've got a big area of clouds on top of us. Had a report of some flurries out across parts of Lake County. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple that scoot across into Chicago here into northwest Indiana. Otherwise, those skies will clear up nicely before moving back in again overnight tonight, and we get some showers in the early hours on Thursday. By 8-9 o'clock, light rain that continues into the afternoon before eventually clearing. Get another push of rain and some thunderstorms going into Friday morning. So we do have that elevated rain chance starting tomorrow, going through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Monday, as things start to cool down, like I showed you in that 10-day temperature trend there, it's possible that we'll see a changeover to see some snow showers early by Monday morning. Today, 53 degrees with cooler lakefront readings in the 40s, 46 in the Loop today, 56 Aurora, 57 Joliet. So see a big spread and big change from lakeside and farther inland. 40 degrees for the low tonight, mostly cloudy with a chance for showers by tomorrow morning. We'll hold on to that shower chance throughout the day on Thursday. 57, big jump. Friday morning, some showers and thunderstorms. Head to a high of 76 degrees. Still warm and wet at times through Saturday and Sunday, but those temperatures will eventually cool and turn cold for those final days of the month. All right, it's nice and quiet now. Chris, how are the roads out there this morning?
Well, sure hoping that the kids are enjoying spring break, because the parents sure aren't. If you have to commute somewhere, there's been a variety of challenges today, and those incidents continue. So off to the maps we go, and we will see that there's a bunch of big red lines out there. One of them is right here in Alsip on the southbound side of the Tri-State Tollway. We had a car fire there. Looks like they've knocked the fire down, but 2 right lanes remain blocked south of 127th. So a big, long delay from Southwest Highway all the way down to past Cicero and 127th right there. A little bit of gaping going on northbound, about a half mile or so before the Cal-Sag Channel there, taking a look at it. Core expressways, of course, with the lighter than normal traffic of spring break. Most of the expressways are lighter than normal, except, of course, the Kennedy, which remains ravaged by road work. And the northbound side of DuSable Lakeshore Drive still heavy into Balboa. Got a stalled bus in the right lane there. And right at Balboa, it's still closed. Just cleaning up the last of the Shamrocks from the Shamrock Shuffle. At 3 o'clock this afternoon, it will reopen between DuSable Lakeshore Drive and Columbus. Chris Habermill, CBS News Chicago.
All right, Chris, thank you. Well, next up, Lady Gaga announcing tour dates weeks after releasing her new album, Mayhem. She's only stopping in a few cities, and guess what? Chicago made the list. We'll tell you when, coming up.
Dana and Audrina, good morning to you from Untitled Supper Club in River North. This is a Prohibition-style space, and it's quite amazing. This is the Whiskey Library. They've got more than 800 kinds of whiskey. This is Brittany Poole. She's the Whiskey Librarian, shaking up a cocktail for us. Coming up in about 20 minutes, we'll show off some of the food and drinks because we've already shown off some of the amazing performances that they have 4 days a week here. We'll see you right after the break.
All right, get ready, Chicago. The Lady is coming in concert. We're talking about Lady Gaga, of course. She just announced a few hours ago the 16 cities she plans to stop in for her Mayhem Ball. Chicago's listed with 2 dates, September 15th and 17th. Last time Lady Gaga toured here, she played Wrigley Field.
A special celebration for these state champs. Aurora honoring the Weston Bridges Warriors for their state championship title at the Illinois Special Olympics basketball tournament. I love the celebration pictures here. Weston Bridges is a residential community for high-functioning adults with intellectual, cognitive, and developmental disabilities. The adult basketball team members also got a medal from the city of Aurora. Well, the mayor is also celebrating some other high school basketball state champions.
Yeah, we're talking about Mayor Brandon Johnson. He will welcome DePaul College prep students who won the Class 3A title, claiming their third title in 3 years. Pretty impressive. The team beat Brother Rice 55-52 in double overtime on March 15th. The ceremony begins at 10 o'clock this morning, so in just about a half an hour.
Amazing. Love that. Love all the celebrations.
Yep, it's great.
That's great, from the city to the burbs. All right, next at 9:30, CTA workers are hitting the pavement today trying to warn riders about the massive transit cuts that could be coming that we told you about.
And a deep dive into voter turnout in Cook County. The Treasurer's Office releasing its findings, shedding light on who votes and how that impacts big decisions on property taxes.
And as we continue to mark Women's History Month, today we're introducing you to a Chicago woman who's one of the youngest and most successful leaders in the beauty industry.
This is CBS News Chicago.
Good morning and good to be with you. I'm Adrena Sinclair.
And I'm Dana Kozlov. It is 9:30. Thanks so much for staying with us today. This half hour, CTA workers reaching out to riders today. The warning that several transit agencies could see massive service cuts if they can't get more funding.
Let's start though with your first alert forecast. A milder day and some rain on the way later this week. We're also starting off pretty cloudy.
Meteorologist Laura Bannon is in the First Alert Weather Center now with more on all of that. Laura?
Yeah, it's not the prettiest looking day out there. It's chilly now, 37. These clouds that we have now will eventually clear out, and we do give way to a little afternoon of sunshine. A flurry or two is going to be possible here this morning. Been seeing that off and on throughout parts of Lake County. Forecast for today, we get out of the 40s, head into the 50s by 3 today, mostly cloudy at 51 degrees. We've got dry weather today before some showers and thunderstorm chances pick up for the rest of the week. Weekend too, there's going to be some rain and storm chances. So we'll sort out the rain chance and the warm up that we're expecting late this week too, coming up in just a little bit.
Okay, Laura, thank you. And breaking overnight in Jefferson Park, this SUV slammed through the front window of this dispensary early this morning. You can see it sitting in the middle of the store. Chicago police say thieves broke into Cannabis at Milwaukee and Lawrence around 2 this morning. Officers told our crews on the scene that the storage area where products are kept was not broken into. It does not appear the thieves got any money either. And CTA workers are warning passengers this morning of the potential for really big transit cuts.
Yeah, we've told you about the $770 million budget shortfall. That's really a brewing crisis for Chicago's transit system. Our Marissa Perlman is live in Jefferson Park with a story that really impacts so many people on how we get around every day. Marissa.
Yeah, good morning to you both. We are talking about CTA, Metra, and Pace, all talking about nearing a nearly 40% cut if they can't find the money to fund their services.
Public transit, it thrives in the city of Chicago. It's the heartbeat. You know, it connects everyone.
This morning at CTA stations across the city, workers are canvassing to let riders know what they're up against. The Regional Transit Authority, the organization that oversees all three agencies, says they need a $1.5 billion in total to maintain services and expansions. Now, without state funding, these agencies say riders will see cuts, delays, and travel headaches no matter how you choose to get around. Leaders at Metra predict a 40% reduction in service, cuts to early and late trains, delays on weekdays and weekends, and possibly increased fares. Workers tell us we are facing a community-wide impact as we face these cuts.
A lot of, areas that have public transportation, people depend on those. So if there's service cuts, we have nothing to get us to where we need to go. And that's not only for the public, that's employees as well. It affects people's households. When people can't work or can't get access to work, that's income that's being affected.
The state legislature is still working on a budget for 2026, and right now it doesn't appear there's any agreement on transit funding. That is, one state representative says, without some compromise to cut down costs. Now, we know the RTA will meet for the first time tomorrow morning since they've released exactly what cuts we're facing again and what cuts we could see if this deficit is not addressed. We'll keep you posted on how that meeting goes tomorrow morning. For now, we're live at Jefferson Park. I'm Marissa Perlman, CBS News Chicago.
All right, Marissa, thank you. And also today, the Chicago Transit Authority is holding 3 meetings about the Red Line extension. The meetings, all in April, will be a chance for people to hear about the construction plan. Now, the Red Line is being extended about 5.5 miles from 95th Street down to 130th, and the CTA is also planning to build 4 new Red Line stations along this new route. Now, here are the meetings on your screen right here. On April 8th, it's at 9525 South Halstead Street, the library there. April 10th, we are talking about St. John's Missionary Baptist Church. And then on April 15th, the meeting will be held at the Altgeld Gardens. That's on 132nd Street. All 3 will start at 6 p.m.
And new this morning, there are a lot of tax-related issues on ballots, but only a few people are weighing in on them. That is one finding of a pretty comprehensive study conducted by the Cook County Treasurer's Office about voter turnout in the county last fall. Now, the Treasurer's Office looked at the trends behind who votes and who doesn't, and it found that a small minority of people are deciding whether property taxes should go up or down. The report found mostly white taxing districts had an average turnout of 55%. It was 33% in black majority districts and 29% where Latinos were the majority. More than 50% of voters in districts with a median income above $100,000 cast a ballot, but it was only 34% of voters in places with incomes below $81,000. Now, this morning, Treasurer Pappas told me that people need to stop complaining about taxes and get to the ballot box to do something about them.
We saw a $593 million increase in property taxes last election that people voted for. But the people who voted were roughly 50% of the people in white neighborhoods, okay, and 33% in minority neighborhoods. So you have half or less than half the people calling multi-billion-dollar, million-dollar deals all over the county.
On average, in 2021 and 2023, 1 in 5 voters determined the outcome of 23 referendums affecting everything from mental health coverage to school funding.
Well, as we continue to celebrate Women's History Month, today we want you to meet a powerhouse in the beauty industry. And as Erica Sargent shows us, her brand is about celebrating beauty and family.
Eris Singleton is at the top of her field.
You good with Amazon?
One of the youngest leaders in the beauty industry. She's the CEO of the hair care line, Thank God It's Natural, or simply TGIN. And when we say young,
I am 31, but I became CEO at the age of 28.
Eris has national eyes on her, from an Oprah Daily Award to a place on Black Enterprise's 40 Under 40 list. She's among the Chicago Defenders Women of Excellence. And in 2023, a collector's edition of Jet magazine was dedicated just to her.
I would say that's one of my biggest accomplishments.
But Eris will be the first to tell you her success is not a solo act.
Very grateful for my childhood and for my upbringing. I believe that is why I am successful today.
Eris grew up on the east side of Detroit, Michigan, a little girl who always was interested in big business.
I was always in some type of business program. My mother had me in learning about stocks on the weekends. My mom was actually an educator, but she always had a business mindset.
While Eris was a teenager, her aunt, Christia Donaldson, a Harvard lawyer, created TGIN. It grew largely out of Christia's struggle as a Black woman whose hair didn't look like everyone else's in the corporate world.
In the law field back in the early 2000s, it was not acceptable to wear your hair in its natural state. It is a part of who we are, our identity. So when you tell a woman that you can't wear your hair curly, you can't wear your hair this way, you are taking her identity away from her. And it shouldn't be.
The natural hair movement was beginning, and the company was taking off. TGIN products were now in big box stores from Target to Walgreens, CVS to Ulta. And after graduating with a finance degree from Texas Southern University, Eris got a call that changed everything.
Christia said, I need you to come work for me for 6 months. I need you to come help out with operations and finance. I was only supposed to be here for 6 months, and here I am 8 years later.
Eris went to work in every aspect of TGIN.
I sat in HR, I sat in finance, operations, marketing, sales. I have done it all.
But nothing could prepare her for the tragedy that was to come.
I had just turned 28, and Christia passed not even 2 months after my 28th birthday.
Christia Donaldson died of breast cancer in 2021 at just 42 years old.
Losing Christia was devastating. I was not expecting to lose her.
Eris had lost more than an aunt. Christia was her role model in business and in life.
I always admired her drive. She never took no for an answer. Christia was very much a go-getter and really pushing the limits, testing the boundaries.
But there was little time to grieve. Suddenly, Eris was called on to become a CEO.
I had to pull it together. Payroll still had to be done. Business still had to be taken care of. Having that responsibility dropped in your lap, it changes you. But for the better. I am a better leader, a better woman because of that situation.
And to this day, TGIN continues Christia's legacy. A look at the warehouse shows a growing product line.
We have shampoos, conditioners, oils, leave-in conditioners. In our new collection, the Miracle Styling collection, is more focused on styling.
And it's still a family affair. Eris's business-minded mother, Dr. Piper Farrell, is the chief operating officer. So what's it like to work with your CEO daughter?
Honestly, it's fun. It's fun because, you know, for 30 years, I was telling her what to do. Now she thinks that, you know, since we're in business together, she could tell me what to do, but she can't. My baby. To see this dynamic woman really take the reins of TGIN and lead it into the next generation is just phenomenal. I'm just impressed by the woman that she has become.
And mother and daughter agree that TGIN is all about helping other women become their best in every possible way.
Looking great on the outside is great, but we want to go deeper. We are looking at the woman as a whole. How can we support and uplift women as a whole, not just your hair?
Thanks to our Erica Sargent for that story. We just love this mother-daughter duo, and we couldn't tell the story without talking about the TGIN Foundation. It's the company's philanthropic arm, and Eris's aunt Christia created it back in 2017 as she was battling breast cancer. The goal of this is to help women struggling with the disease by helping them get access to care, transportation, and of course the emotional support that's so needed through the journey. To learn more, log on to tginfoundation.org.
You know, I love that philanthropic work, and I also love the idea of empowering and uplifting women.
Yes.
So important, and continues to be so important in these times.
Yeah, and I also love her talking about just this, you know, this natural hair care and why it's so amazing to have it when you go into Target. Mm-hmm. And for someone with hair like mine to say, okay, it's more accessible, it's there, we need it. So congrats to them on all their success.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Well, next, it's a mix of food, drinks, and fun.
Nice.
We're at Untitled in River North for today's Jumpstart, getting a look at this Prohibition-era inspired bar and restaurant.
Well, it's cloudy here in the Loop. We've got some sunshine showing up out west toward DeKalb. We've got some rainy days ahead of us, tracking the rain showers, the thunderstorms, and the cool down in your first alert forecast.
Welcome back. In our Jumpstart, we're at a pretty swanky bar and restaurant in River North that's pretty much taking us back to the 1920s.
Or should we call it a speakeasy, Audrina?
It's kind of like a whole bunch of things in one, I feel like.
Untitled is what it's called, and it's a Prohibition-era inspired supper club offering food, cocktails, even live entertainment. And Jackie Kostek is live there now, where she's been all morning long, with another look inside. Jackie?
Dana, Audrina, good morning to you. Well, good timing because the smoke just cleared from this beef ragu tartare. I'm here with Alan Sosa this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, doing really well. You're the executive chef here at Untitled Supper Club. You have to do the grand reveal with the tartare, so let it rip. Let's see the smoke come out. This is the kind of experience that pairs really well with all of the entertainment that we've been showing you all morning. So what are we looking at? I mean, it's stunning.
Yeah, so we have American ragu tartare
tartare with the Dijonnaise-based dressing and a beef fat crumble. So on top you have brioche bread fried in beef fat, capers fried in beef fat, and then trying to just get some aromatics around. We have tarragon oil as well to finish.
It's a lot of beef fat. Sounds good.
It's a good bite all around for sure.
Okay, so we have been showing off the entertainment that is here at Untitled Supper Club all morning long, but what can people expect from the food offerings?
Yeah, so we really like to take on the Prohibition vibe of supper clubs. Very luxurious bites throughout. We have a tomahawk steak that we reverse sear for about an hour and a half in sear, and it comes with a variety of sauces.
I like that too, because you took the work out of it for us and the guest experience, where it's all sliced up, looks beautiful. You don't have to, tear it off the bone yourself.
Exactly, 100 for sure. And then also with that, we have a paella-style risotto. We kind of do that to emphasize fresh seafood on a very, decadent style type of food.
Yes.
And then we have a seafood tower with Alaskan king crab, snow crab legs, fresh oysters, and cocktail sauce.
I have to say, even on that salad, I'm looking at the chunks of bacon on that thing. That looks so good. I mean, those are hearty chunks of bacon.
Yeah, so it's a spring-forward dish. We like to try and be seasonal as possible, and just a lot of clean tasting, and it's a lot of fun food to eat during while you're having a show or enjoying the whiskey here.
Absolutely. Do you have a favorite among these dishes?
I really like seafood towers, especially getting the whole vibe here and just being able to relax and crush some fresh seafood.
Oh, crush some fresh seafood. I love it. Alan, thank you so much for your time this morning and whipping up all of these incredible dishes for us here at 9:45 in the morning. We love it. Now I'm here with Brittany Poole, who is the whiskey librarian. That's where we are. And they actually say at Untitled Supper Club that you can really bar hop within the space. It's 18,000 square feet. So a lot going on here. Brittany, you're going to be whipping up a cocktail called Chicago Lightning. What is all in that?
So the Chicago Lightning is going to be a riff on a classic whiskey sour. We're going to start with the Stranahan's Blue Peak single malt whiskey from Colorado. It's going to feature some fresh lemon juice, some root beer syrup that we make fresh in-house. There is an element of smoke, so we're going to add some tobacco bitters. And then some vegan FIFO, so anyone with dietary restrictions can also enjoy this cocktail.
Okay, and when we talk about the whiskey library here at Untitled Supper Club, they have so many different kinds of whiskey. They have more than 800 kinds, which is incredible. They have one of the most extensive libraries or collections of whiskey in the city of Chicago. They also have one that is so rare that it goes for $950 a pour, and when it's gone, it's gone. They can't get another bottle because it was made. Was it during the millennium, right before the millennium? I'm not sure. You got to come and check it out yourself. They also have whiskey dinners here once a month and special tribute nights with the live music. So next week is a Marvin Gaye tribute night, which would be probably my favorite. Brittany, thank you so much for that beautiful cocktail. Dana, Audrina, back to you.
Oh, we will totally sign up for the Marvin Gaye. That's amazing.
That's just all of it looks so great.
Jackie, thank you. All right, y'all, that gate really inspired me. We've got a lot going on in that venue. It's so fun, and it's also good on winter nights.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's spring now officially, but on
but
cold
it feels like winter.
Practically. Yeah, on cold nights, I still feel like it's winter.
I know. Yeah, if I'm still lugging around the heavy winter coat,
right?
It's still
Exactly.
winter.
Yes.
Yeah. So once we get to May, the switch hopefully switches and we get back in business and get some nice warm weather, which just seems so far away from here. But hey, we do have a warming trend, at least for the end of the week. We're going to go back into the 70s, today being one of the cooler days, especially up along the lakefront. Thursday through Sunday, waves of showers and some thunderstorms. By early next week, we have snow in the headlines with a little rain in the mix. But we do jump from at least a dry pattern to a rainy spell starting tomorrow morning, going into Friday morning, and Friday being the warmest day that we have on the board over the next 7. Lots of clouds over in Chicago, squeezed out a couple of flurries here or there across parts of Lake County. Moving in closer, we have temps now holding in the middle upper 30s, 40s, McHenry, 41 DeKalb. That's one area where we've got a little bit more mixed sunshine showing up to help give a boost in the temperature department. We do break out into some more sunshine, not going to be a full sunny day, but there's going to be some breaks here today before the skies cloudy up overnight tonight. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, rain to the west. That overspreads, giving us at least dreary conditions through the early afternoon, clearing out through the rest of the day until our next rain and storm chance for early Friday morning. Now, looking at that Sox home opener for tomorrow, we should see those showers ending by game time, 54 degrees, with a light south wind coming in between 5 and 10. Today's high, 53 degrees, 40s Lakeside, 46 in the Loop today, 44 Waukegan, and 57 Joliet. So seeing a big spread in temperatures there. Tonight, chilly at 40 degrees. Tomorrow, shower chance, mostly cloudy, 57. We keep the momentum going through Friday, 76 degrees after we see some morning rain, thunder. Some areas may get close to 80 on Friday. Warm again on Saturday, falling temperatures through Sunday, unsettled to finish out the weekend. 58 degrees down to the 40s for highs by Monday and Tuesday of next week. All right, let's check traffic with our Chris Coppermill. Hi, Chris. I almost called you
Hi, Laura.
Choppermill.
It's been kind of a busy and challenging,
Sorry.
challenging Wednesday. Would you believe even I get it wrong? Hi, everybody. Anyway, as we're out going around and getting from here to there, some places are going to slow down, and we have a variety of reasons why. So let's go ahead and detail that. Here's what it looks like right now. We had an earlier vehicle fire right about there. It's gone now. They just moved it off the right shoulder on the southbound Tri-State. Wish I could say the same for the outbound Ike. That's all jammed up, pretty solid from the Costner curve all the way out to Harlem Avenue. 2 left lanes are blocked, some midday work. They're fixing something up right there. Stalled bus northbound to DuSable Lakeshore Drive at Balboa. Right lane has just been reopened. They just pulled that one out of there. Shamrock Shuffle cleanups until 3 on Balboa, just off of DuSable Lakeshore Drive. And we've got the express lanes all jammed up by Woodfield. Northbound Route 53, 2 left express lanes. They're fixing the divots in Algonquin Road, and anybody who's driven through there will be very thankful for that. So midday patchwork is ongoing. Have a great day. Drive safe. Let's be nice to each other. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. Here's a look at the stories that we're keeping an eye on today.
In the next few hours, 57-year-old Robert Romo is expected in court after a string of deadly violence in Gage Park. Now, overnight, police announced murder and attempted murder charges. They accused Romo of killing his brother and his partner in an apartment and then stabbing a woman in a bar next door on Sunday night.
The Atlantic just released messages from the app Signal, messages between top U.S. officials about an airstrike in Yemen. Now, this comes a day after President Donald Trump and other politicians downplayed the group chat. Last month, the National Security Agency issued a warning that Signal is a target of Russian hackers.
CTA workers spent the morning handing out flyers at several blue and red line stations, and they're out there because they want to make sure that riders are aware of major cuts that are possible for not only CTA but also for PACE and Metra. The big issue here is a looming $770 million deficit for Chicago Transit, which leaders say needs to be addressed immediately. CTA workers will be out canvassing again this afternoon.
Another look at your 7-day. We will get some sunshine here today, going up to 53, 57 on Thursday, 76 on Friday. Showers and thunderstorms, that develops tomorrow. That'll take us through the end of the weekend. Next week, we go down to 41 degrees. My husband works at 7 on, 7 off schedule, so this is his 7 off, and he saw the schedule.
Oh, no.
He texted me, and he saw the forecast, and he's like, of course, the week that I'm off, it's going to rain every day. And I'm like, no, honey. Well, no, I'm like, no. So you see the chance there. There will be some dry time, so it'll be okay.
So you're giving him the bright spot. You're like,
every minute.
Exactly.
It's not every minute.
That's good to know, because as soon as you see the rain icon on the forecast, we amateurs think, right, it's gonna rain all day.
Right.
So thank you.
Yeah, not everyone has. Well, you guys do have me every day.
We have every day. Thank God.
Thank you.